My daughter Mia is now 35, and my daughter Zoe is 31. But when Mia was 4, it was a question of a Jewish education. And a few other people, my mom actually put me in touch with them first, and now these are some of my closest friends, formed a Yiddish shul. We were Mia was in the first year. And it was the West Side Yiddish School, and it survived until a few years ago, I believe. Both my children went. I was very active, and as I said, I have very close friendships from the people involved, some of whom also, do you know Ida Rack? Her father was a Yiddish writer also. And it began as, well, it was always once a week. We had to change what we expected from it. You know, I didn't go to shul, it wasn't available. My brother went to a shul, then my mother and a few other people put together for a year or two. But it's a secular Yiddish education with emphasis on history, music, culture, literature, ethics, everything but God. My kids had secular bat mitzvahs where they chose a project that they worked on and then presented. Mia did it on Jewish American literature. Bellow, Roth, Grace Paley. It was a very creative topic, and she then spoke in the voices of these people. And Zoe did it on Yiddish theater. It was very, very meaningful. But we realized early on with Shula that our kids were not going to be able to learn Yiddish the way when my mother's generation or even my generation went to Shula, because then they were coming home to homes where Yiddish was being spoken. In this case, they weren't coming home to a spoken language. So while we still had some Yiddish language, we played that down as being not realistic, and it was much more songs and holidays and readings. And what we wanted to instill in the kids was a familiarity with the language and a sense of the warmth that comes with the language, but basically a sense of Jewish identity that was secular and, you know, political, socially progressive. And I have some mixed feelings about it now because I don't know if that was enough, because in terms of the mainstream world of Jewry now, I think they feel a little bit isolated. Like they don't go to shul, but if they, on Yom Kippur, if you don't go to shul, you know, who are you? So they've incorporated some of that, and I'm hoping that as adults they'll fill in the gaps in their education and learn. Again, I had a traditional Jewish education, so I know what I'm rejecting, the same way my father knew what he was rejecting. I don't know if my kids know what they're rejecting. And I wish at some point they would know. Then they can reject it, you know, and the religious parts if they want to. But that shula was very, very important for me as a parent and for the kids. It was a part of our lives for 15 years, and I still, well, last year I dropped out, but we still have a book group of parents from the shula, which it's a very close group, and my kids would agree that it's very meaningful to them. But again, I do feel that they've been a little bit shortchanged in terms of, there's more of a traditional education in Judaism that I wish they'd have.